So you want to move on from now and stop throwing your life away. Good. Because in most cases, we often get to the point in life where it just seems impossible. And even if we give all of our blood and sweat, we just keep failing without any results. But other than if it seems hopeless, it is actually good to fail sometimes in life. Before you get wrong thoughts, we will go over everything, how you can actually embrace yourself to make life meaningful. So right now, if you are feeling depressed, meaningless, or lonely about the bad habits or addictions that got control over your mind, this video will open your eyes. Make sure you watch till the end, because the last point might just be the most important to you. Number 1, having a strong mindset. The way we live our life really depends on how we think about life. Most people will tell you that you shouldn't take life too seriously, which really isn't the truth, and this is where most people lack. Master your mind and control your emotions. Nowadays, society makes us believe that all bad habits like death scrolling and showing your emotions are something completely normal. I will tell you that these often those people are who don't take life seriously at all. They mostly tend to have limited beliefs and that everything is hopeless anyways, which isn't healthy at all. You always have to understand that not everything in life is just bad or going the wrong way. And even if you failed a class test or got fired by work, the world will always be still up for you. Yes, you heard that right. Most people believe it's over when it hits them, and they aren't strong enough to move on. Instead, they rather look away from what happened to them and leave it as a joke. But no, you should never ever make jokes about your own serious mistakes, since we all got the gift from God to live in the present. So you have to leave all the mistakes on what you've done in the past and move forward. This may sound hard, but no one will care about your failure and help you. The opposite is true. You don't want to speak out your problems to anyone. Let the actions do it for you. And yes, I know it's hard. And as a human, we tend to speak out our emotions sometimes. And do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying that you are never allowed to talk to someone, but make sure you are surrounded by people who truly understand and respect you that you can trust. Because knowing when to let out the emotions already shows that you have control over it. So rather see life as full of challenges for your destiny and emotions. And I'm sure if you accomplish every little tasks, you will 100% unlock the best version of yourself. In the end, we are all human and we all make mistakes sometimes, but that only makes us better, improving on having a more confident lifestyle. Self-respect and discipline are very powerful to get whatever we were dreaming about, but we will get more into it later on. What I wanted to say is that you can only build these things up by the time, and trust me that every other thing will come to you when you are ready. You might think now, why you are not ready yet? It is actually pretty simple. Think about it like this. You always wanted the girl of your dreams but still don't have her. Simply get a dream man. Chasing for something that is not in your aura will automatically move away from you like two magnets that does not fit to each other. Why? Because in life we only stick things to us that we are attracted to, so you just can't expect, for example, the good-looking girl in the gym. When you are unhealthy yourself and don't even think about moving at all, I just want you to understand that we have to move things in life to make progress, to grow like a tree. Simply, if we are staying at only one point and do nothing by the time we start stinking like mold. And this automatically also affects our brain, and I will tell you why. Mental and physical health are directly linked to each other, so physical activities are necessary to increase our blood flow over the body, which leads to a healthy mental function. So you can always move outside for a run or do some exercises, because we want to avoid laziness to build things up, right? I know for some people it's hard, but this is something you have to overcome, and trust me, you will feel way more calm afterwards, so you will truly get a different perspective, because you do not only physically load up natural life energy, which is very powerful, you will also get 100% clear-minded without any distractions by just being in nature, because deep down we all know that only staying at one point in life doesn't direct us to anything. Most people actually don't see the benefits of Mother Nature, and rather stay in their comfort zone, keep death scrolling or playing video games all day and call it normal, staying at one point for cheap dopamine, which screws up their whole dopamine level. So you have the choice of living the life with regrets or no regrets, because that's why many people are trapped in a vicious circle that just might be too scared to overcome the reality. Listen, if you are caring about your healthiness and your goals and take this very serious, it is almost impossible to fail. Think about it like this, and remember, nobody can stop a man who's going to accomplish his goals, which leads to number 2. Find your purpose. Having goals in life is very important. You probably wouldn't even click on the video if you haven't any purpose yet, because purposes are our destiny in life. So even if you don't feel like having any purposes now, there is always something lurking around in our mind. But you have to give yourself a chance. If we want the mind to be able to refill it, it has to be empty, right? There is actually a very good way that also helps me a lot when I feel very unproductive myself. This really affected my life in a very positive way every time I used this method. So if you really want to get control over your mind, you have to stop letting the mind have control over you, which in most cases starts by any addiction like death scrolling, fapping, or smoking. I will tell you that quitting these already makes you in the top 5% of men. You now might think that it isn't even possible being that man, but I ask you, why are you not that man? I know there are some people here that will still continue, but listen, they have never heard about self-respect or self-love. For almost everyone in the modern world, things like smoking, fapping, or scrolling on social media all day are normal. And it is also normal to say things like, fapping is good for you because it reduces cancer, or cigarettes will boost your testosterone, bro. Bullshit. If you still want to believe in that, go ahead. But in the long term, you will lose because those people simply lack on facing their true potential, and they know it's true, so they just want to pull everybody down together with them. So if you're deciding to unlock your true potential, you have to stop any activity on your screen from social media for a moment, because too much information for our brain is rather keeping us away from our true potential. And if we are all honest to ourselves, there's so much information that our brain mostly can't even handle. So what you want to do is to simply go out for a walk outside in a heartwarming place in nature, where you can go very deep inside of your mind, and this works just because we all naturally feel more safe and free by going outside. And be honest to yourself, when was the last time you consciously went for a walk in nature? I know I might sound weird to some people now, but think about it like this. Our ancestors were in nature only, and they always got the right purposes and goals in life, simply just like we do now. I know this might already be a huge step for some people, but once you overcome this, you will get a different perspective. And even if you feel like doing nothing to make progress for yourself, because you just might lack of motivation or something, but then decided to make it anyways, then this is a good sign for self-respect and building up discipline, which is necessary for our purposes, because without it, we won't be able to achieve anything in our life to get successful. So if you are somebody who takes life very serious, there's nothing between the idea to immediately start now and stop wasting any time. And we all want to make the best out of it, right? So start now. This is where most people will fail. Either it is because they have a lack of confidence, or they just have such a weak mindset to not even give themselves a chance. Because every time they want to start, they are sabotaging themselves and making excuses and say things like, I'll do it tomorrow. And all that just because they be like too scared to change something in their lives. Procrastination simply leads them to stay in their comfort zone. Many people also think that they will get successful anyways by the right moment which is coming for them. But guess what? There is nothing in this world like the right moment to get successful immediately, and it may hurt you to hear this, but no one on this earth will wait for you. You are the only person himself who takes action in life and changes. This is something you have to do for your inner peace, because putting in the work and increasing something for a lifetime is what you are building up for you and no one else, because you are the one who has the ability to achieve anything, like having a good body, a house, or the girl of our dreams, and so on. But you know that by the time nothing will change unless you do something. And I know that most people will be like, this is too hard for me, or I can't do this. But listen, you don't have to be the perfect human or anything for this. All you have to do is to overcome your mind to make something out of your life by simply just starting. Building up discipline is key, and everyone can go outside and start with very easy 20 push-ups or a 10-min walk every day. This already increases your blood flow to get more sharp about whatever you do. Start with the business you always thought about but never really took action in, for like 20 minutes after you are done with your exercises. Now you're not only sharp about the things you do, you also make everything more efficient, which builds up momentum to get closer to your goals. And don't ask yourself too much or get distracted by the time for how long it takes, or that you feel like what you are doing isn't enough, because this will mean a lot more than you think actually. If you consistently start building up good habits in your daily routines, your brain will automatically replace them with your bad ones. So this actually is very powerful, and trust me, I also felt like not doing enough in my life till I understood that 10 minutes of being productive is way more effective than 1 hour of thinking being productive. Now make one thing very clear to yourself. This is not for anybody, and no one in this world will wait for you, as I said before. The only person you all make this for is for yourself, so stop wasting your time and start. Because all depends on time. Time is the most valuable thing on earth, and as a man who is full of energy and potential, it really is a blessing, and all of us should respect that. Imagine that you can reach something that has never existed before, or make history. But you have to know, getting successful in life isn't coming from the day after tomorrow. It needs a lot of self-respect and discipline. I could tell you a lot more things for gaining self-respect or being disciplined, but this will be saved for another video. All you need to know for now is that the time is always ticking. You might be hurt, scared, or you really don't want to hear this, but that's why the name of the channel channel is Back to Reality. In this life, you should always make the best out of it, and I will tell you why, because we all know that death hits everyone sooner or later in this lifetime, and there is nothing we can do about it or have control over it, but what we can control is here and now. And I also already mentioned a lot of things in this video about how to deal with a weak mindset or bad habits, which just want to waste your time and feel like throwing everything away. And this should make you very clear that this life is too short on wasting time on cheap gratification. I tell you straight. When you stop everything for a moment and take the action to get clear-minded, you would go ahead of the majority over people who can't even look themselves in the mirror anymore. So you can go ahead with TikTok, Pornhub, play video games all day, being one of them, and see yourself, wealth and everything around you very pessimistic, or you get back to reality. Open your eyes and stop wasting any time on from now and start getting physically and mentally very strong, because this is where you start building up momentum for your life. So you have the choice. You can either regret everything when it's too late, or you just make the best out of it, like there are no regrets. Never forget that time will be over, and it is only the destiny of God on how much time we have left. And we all know we are forced to respect and accept that. If you want to improve in life and don't want to miss any videos, make sure you subscribe, because I know that only together we are stronger. See you next time.